Hello, my name's Millie. I'm the resident dietitian here at the Collagen Co. Welcome to our kitchen.
We can take this ride wherever it goes, as long as you're with.
Today we are recreating your favorite tacos, but we're making a deconstructed taco bowl. So there is a little bit more elements, but what I love about this dish is it's more nutrient dense, there's much more fiber, it's more satisfying because what we find with traditional tacos is they're full of filler ingredients like cheeses and sauces, and they lack that nutritional variety and that balance, and we often leave feeling unsatisfied and wanting more and more. So I find the easiest way to cook this meal is to prepare all of our different elements and then assemble the bowls at the very end. So we'll start with our guacamole. You need 1 avocado, a red onion, what else do we need? Lime. Where are my limes? Okay. Fresh lime and salt and pepper. So I know everybody has their own unique way of cutting avocados, but I find the easiest way is to slice it down the middle, scoop out the avocado with a spoon, like so. Now, avocados are a healthy source of fat. Fat can be demonized in a lot of cooking, but it's a really important element of a healthy dish because it helps to keep you fuller for longer, and it also helps you to absorb a lot of different nutrients. So there's certain vitamins that are actually absorbed better when we consume those foods with healthy fats. Now, this recipe calls for half a red onion. I'm going to use a quarter in the guacamole and save a quarter for the salsa. So while we're chopping it all up, we'll do the whole lot together. Now, the beauty with all of these ingredients is you can be rough with how you chop them. We're not aiming for perfect, we're aiming for rustic. But I, just like you guys, am a home cook and I'm not perfect, but I do pride myself on trying to make the meals as nutritious as possible. Okay, so we're going to smash up our avocado. You can just do this with a fork, or you can even pop it into a NutriBullet or blender, whatever's easiest for you. I also find when you buy guacamole or you add it as an addition when you're purchasing takeaway foods or foods from restaurants is they add ingredients like peas or other filler type ingredients to sort of extend the quantity. So once you've smashed up your avocado, we want to place half of the red onion that we chopped earlier into the bowl, a squeeze of lime, a little bit of salt and pepper, and just mix that all together. And there is our homemade guacamole ready to go. I'll just place that in the fridge for later. So next we'll make our homemade salsa, or as the pros call it, a pico de gallo. I know that I'm butchering the pronunciation there. The beautiful thing about making your own salsa is you can of course control the ingredients, and I do find that a lot of the store-bought varieties are quite high in sugar and added oils and things like that. And I just find as well that the more plants you can add to your meal, the better it is for not only your overall health, but it helps to keep you fuller for longer. And all of those plants contain lots of prebiotics, which is great for our gut health as well. We're aiming for about 100 grams or half a punnet of cherry tomatoes. Pop them into a small bowl with the remainder of the red onion that we sliced earlier. Now, this next ingredient is a little controversial, but it is absolutely essential if you want to make this salsa to the best of its ability. That is coriander. Again, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, or if you've got kids that completely turn their nose up, that's fine. You can admit it all together. But all we want is about 2 tablespoons of roughly chopped coriander for our salsa. So we'll pop the coriander in the bowl. Then we need a nice generous glug of extra virgin olive oil. Whenever you're using oil in cooking, I always recommend opting for extra virgin olive oil. It is the most nutrient dense variety, and it's full of those polyphenols and heart healthy fats as well, which we know and love. A little bit of salt and pepper in there as well. Stir that all together. It smells amazing. And we'll just pop that in the fridge with the guacamole as well and bring it back out when it comes to assembling our bowls. So So we're moving on to the beef component of our deconstructed taco bowls. Like I mentioned earlier, we're using a lean meat. This one's got 10% fat, but anything 10% or less is fine. We've also got a pre-made taco mix. You can make this yourself at home, but honestly, who in the world has time for that? So we bought a store-bought one, but it's got ingredients in there like garlic powder, paprika, different herbs and spices. So you're more than welcome to make your own if you like. And also some crushed tomatoes to bring it together, add a little bit of sauce and depth of flavour too. So heat about a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil in a medium-sized pan, pop the mince in and then just break it up with a wooden spoon. And we're just browning the meat for a couple of minutes. Now we're replicating a traditional style taco, but you could use any protein in your bowls that you like. You could do fillet steak and finely slice that. You could do a chicken breast. You could do marinated salmon, whatever your family likes and enjoys and is going to eat as well. So once the meat has browned slightly, generously coat the meat with your taco seasoning. Again, there's so many different types that you can buy from the supermarket, but any will do. Give that a stir so that your meat is coated with all of the seasoning. This portion of the meal is great to make in bulk as well. So you could actually double this recipe, pop some in a container and freeze it or pop it in the fridge for another meal during the week or for lunches the next day. It's a great meal prep option. So once the meat's evenly coated with all of the seasoning, we're going to add a tin of crushed tomatoes. And just lower the heat and simmer the meat for about 10 to 12 minutes. The beauty with mince, I find you can't really overcook it. So if it's simmering in a sauce like a crushed tomato or something else, you can leave it on the stove while you go and do or prep your other ingredients. So while the meat is simmering, we're going to move on to making our homemade tortillas. If you absolutely don't have time for this, opt for the store-bought varieties. These are my favorite, the organic original corn chips, but again, you can go for anything that you find. It's hard to find things to say about like corn chips. To make the homemade tortillas, we're just going to lightly spray each side with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I think we might go for about 8 per tortilla. Okay, so once you've got your tortillas, all they need to do is go into the air fryer, 180 degrees for about 8 minutes, and we'll toss them at the 4-minute mark. So while the meat is cooking and the chips are in the air fryer, I recommend preparing the rest of your bowl ingredients. So we've got some light shredded cheese, our brown rice, quinoa and chia seed base, and our tub of, this one's black beans, capsicum and charred corn, but you could use absolutely anything. These also add a really great touch of prebiotics, which is amazing for your gut health. Now that we've got all of our ingredients ready to go to assemble our bowls, we can start putting this thing together. So I always recommend starting with your rice base. Now I know there will be some of you wondering why we're cooking with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are absolutely an essential part of any meal. They're our energy source and they help to keep us fuller for longer as well. So always make sure that you do choose a carbohydrate source to balance out your meal. We've got our taco meat, so a generous scoop into your bowl. We've got our healthy fats from our guacamole. To do a heaped tablespoon of that. And then we've got our lovely salsa with the tomatoes, red onion, coriander, and olive oil. That goes in. And don't forget your beautiful fiber-rich beans in there as well. We've got our homemade corn chips to scoop up all of these delicious ingredients. And then we'll finish with a sprinkle of cheese. And I'll pop a little bit of lime on the side. And there you have it, a beautifully balanced, deconstructed taco bowl that is full of nutrients, it's budget friendly, it's appropriate for the entire family, and it looks delicious. Guys, here are some tacos that we bought from a takeaway shop. They taste as bad as they look. As you can see, they're full of filler ingredients. There's no meat, just cheese and lettuce. You will have these and be wanting more and more. in comparison to our beautifully balanced deconstructed taco bowl that is nutritionally balanced, it's satisfying, full of protein, healthy fats, low GI carbohydrates. I will be choosing this one any night of the week. Trying to get a bit of that meat in there as well. Don't go too close. So good. Delicious, satisfying, nourishing, ticks all the boxes. You guys have to try it. You know what this is missing? A margarita, a virgin margarita. Something passion fruit, mango. Where's my peptides here? We'll make up our serving of peptides using around about 100 mils of cold water. We're just going to use 1 scoop in this recipe today. Mix it up with a spoon. Beautiful. I think we need to serve it in a much more aesthetic glass. So you want to pour the peptides into the glass. I'm adding fresh passion fruit into this because I feel like being extra fancy. So scoop out the flesh of 1 large passion fruit. Give it a little stir. Yum. That passion fruit smells amazing. We're going to top ours with a little bit of sparkling water. So there you have it, a virgin margarita, Collagen Co style, good for the gut, good for the skin, delicious. Cheers.
We can take this ride.